One is Henry from Tech Daddy Videos, and tonight is going to be another Amazon Q&A. So if you guys have questions, feel free to ask away, especially when I'm here on tonight live. Any questions you guys have about Amazon, anything that came up during the week, feel free to ask. This is why I'm here. And tonight, I wanted to talk about customer service with Amazon. Customer service has been always a big issue with Amazon sellers. And so they kind of act first and react later. So with that being said, just wanted to kind of talk about should you be calling in to Amazon's customer service if you have any type of issues or problems? And the answer is going to be simply no. If you have an issue or a problem, try to figure it out on your own if you can. Do a search on it, what have you. Maybe check YouTube, Google it. Try to avoid talking to customer service if you can, just because they have been screwing up a lot lately. And it's been, there has been a lot more returns going on through Amazon's warehouse because of the COVID-19 deal, and more people staying home, more people figuring out that they can return products with an A to Z claim, no money, back guarantee, where they're sitting there and they can just say, I'm going to go ahead and send this product out back to Amazon and get my money back for it and what have you. I mean, recently I've been getting quite a few more returns that have been showing up. So what I do is I'll go out there and I'll take them back out. If they're not damaged or anything, I will resell them as brand new. Just repackage them, resell them, and get the product back out there to the customer as quickly as possible. And when you get a return from your customer, and it's, say, for example, merchant fulfilled that you are doing, give them their money back right away if you can. And always make sure that you check your products that are being returned. For example, if, say, you sent your customer 3 of your products and they returned back 1, what's going to happen is they have a return where they have a tracking number. So they know as soon as you get that product, it's been received. So what they'll do is they'll call customer service, say, hey, I returned the product. Can you give me my credit now? And most of the time, they go out and they give the customer the credit. Now, where the problem lies is, what happens if you sent them 3 out and they just sent 1 back and they kept the other 2? Well, you're kind of out of luck to a certain point, because if they call customer service first, they're going to only look at, yes, there was a tracking number generated, yes, you did receive it, and now you have to give the credit back. So if you don't give the credit back, Amazon will do that for you. Now, if you go out and you beat them to the punch, so to speak, is you get the product back and say you only received 1 of your items back, give them the difference right away. So in other words, credit them what they deserve. So if your product was $25 a piece and they ordered 3 of them, it came out to $75. They returned 1, give them a $25 credit. And what happens is, if you give them the credit first, Amazon will not step in at all. They will say it's between the customer and the seller, and you guys have to work that out. And I found that out the easy way because I had called and said, hey, wait a minute, I only received so much product back. And when I did call, they had said that they don't step in at all. And sure enough, I was able to give them the exact credit that they deserved. And didn't hear anything right after that. And they kind of knew what they were doing. And so it, it's kind of a thing here now where if you're doing merchant fulfilled products, the shipping is taking a long time to get to your customer. And I like to get my products out as fast as I can, especially when I get an order. I want to get that shipped out to that customer and get that product out to them. So if I have that product shipped out on Friday, most of the time they're going to go ahead and get that by either Monday or Tuesday. Lately, it's been a lot longer than that, just because of everything that's been going on with the United States Postal Service. Extremely slow. Taking their, I mean, I've looked at tracking, and tracking is kind of stuck in a distribution center for like 3 days, which doesn't make sense to me. And some of the products that are guaranteed that they're going to be there, for example, today's the 21st, I believe, of July. I looked at one of my products, and that was shipped out, and they were supposed to receive it on the 12th. Haven't received it yet. And it finally got to their destination. It says ready for delivery. Well, what do you do in that case? You kind of have to, and the customer's messaging you and saying, hey, where's my stuff? Where's my stuff? You look at the tracking number and find out exactly where it's at, and try to get that message back to them as quickly as possible. And do let them know that, hey, it's still on its way. Here's the tracking number. Here it is. Okay, and that kind of will protect you. But then there are some cases where it gets lost in the mail. Those you just have to eat and write it off as a loss, you know. And they're going to want their money back, and they're going to ask for their money back. So you want to make sure you give them the correct amount back. You know, you don't want bad reviews. You don't want people leaving bad feedbacks for you and what have you. So try to accommodate them the best you can. If it's something that you can eat and pretty much say, you know, it got lost in the mail, consider it a loss. And, you know, talk to your tax person at the end of the year and say, here are my losses for this month, or here are my losses for this year, and just kind of deal with it that way. It's better to please the customer than the customer have you have them write a bad you know, review or a bad feedback or something because of late delivery. Now, let's flip it on the other side. If you are sending your products into Amazon's FBA program, and Amazon's FBA is late, and say they didn't get the package out on time, or, you know, it's delayed or what have you, but yet all your stuff is in Amazon, you want to call or email customer service. Let them know that you maybe got a bad feedback, just in case somebody left you a bad feedback for, you know, late shipping, and you know that, hey, I sent this product out to Amazon. That's their fault. That's not my fault. And so you can either call Amazon or send them an email saying, hey, I got a strike against me, or I got a bad feedback. Here it is. Give them as much information as you possibly can. They will put a line through it and strike that, and then once they do that, that does not go against you, and that helps you out as far, or it doesn't help you out, but it just doesn't hurt you when you are getting bad feedbacks or bad reviews from a customer and it's not your fault. So in that case, you know, you kind of want to have to deal with them, or you have to deal with them. But other than that, if you can avoid at all costs, avoid dealing with Amazon's customer service, because there's some of them out there that are not trained, and there's some good ones out there. I'm not going to say everybody's bad, but lately, I've been hearing a lot of complaints, about customer service. And, they like to promise. They'll sit there and say, we'll create a case for you. And they create a case and they'll say, oh, yeah, we'll get back to you within 48 hours. Nobody ever gets back to you. And if they turn around and say, somebody will contact you in 48 hours, well, you better get their name, their badge number, and everything else, and fall back on that customer service rep, because it's lost in space at that point. It's still created a case for you, but it's not going to be something that is just going to be followed through. There's other things that you can do to kind of follow through to make sure that you get heard. But, that's in my video course and what have you, and kind of talk about that. So, Mark H, what's up there, Mark H? Mark H gives me a thumbs up. Really appreciate that, Mark. James Hancock, did you get my text, my email? Yes, I got your text, your email, your phone call, everything else. I have been extremely busy. And yes, I did get it. And yes, I will respond to you when I have an opportunity to do that. So yes, I got that. Thank you, James. Really appreciate that. Denise, hey, Denise, what's going on? So if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. Now is the time to ask these questions. If you have any problems or what have you, this is what I'm here for. They do this every Monday night at 6 p.m. and get quite a few of you guys out here and ask some great questions, by the way. So this week has been really good. Sales have been really great. They're picking up even more. And so, we're just kind of staying on track, and make sure that, you guys have plenty of supplies. Make sure that you have plenty of product, because you don't want to run out of product, especially now with everything going on. There's a lot more people staying home now, and they're kind of ordering more products, and for home improvement or groceries or you name it, books. Everything is extremely busy. DCAS. Cass says, hi Henry, we spoke this morning. I edited my new and first listing. You told me to put one quantity and it did not change to active. Okay, if it did not change to active, then there is an issue with that particular listing whatsoever. You can delete that listing if you like and create a brand new listing. That will help you out. So most likely, they went ahead and deactivated that listing when you called in or when you emailed them or what have you. So the solution to that problem is to go ahead and deactivate that listing, delete the listing altogether, and try to create a brand new one. Maybe there was something in there that was wrong. It could have been something as simple as a brand name or a keyword that is protected, and Amazon did not allow you to put that listing up. So go ahead and do that. Take that off and get that done. Eduardo Rosa. Hello, Henry. Hello, everyone. What's going on there, Eduardo? Hope everything is good on your end there. So when we talk about customer service, sometimes you have to call customer service. Sometimes you have to get in touch with them. But when you do, the best advice that I can possibly give you is try to give them as little information as possible when it comes to your account. I know they ask for a lot of information, but don't volunteer things that may be against Amazon's policy or Amazon's procedures. So, you don't want to get caught doing something that you shouldn't be doing. So this is why I tell a lot of people, try not to contact them. I mean, I hear it all the time. account suspensions. People got suspended. Oh, my account got suspended. I tried calling them. I tried talking to them. I tried yelling at them. I tried doing this, and it's not working. They're not responding. They're not answering my messages. Well, most of the time that when you call in, it has to be a case has to be created. This is how Amazon works. Okay, Amazon doesn't have phone numbers where one department can call another department. They basically depend on emailing each department, which to me is very stupid. It's smart as far as phone bills and everything else like that, but when it comes to customer service, it's terrible because they're sitting there emailing another department, and that department is the one that makes the decisions, and that department is not going to get back to you. And this is why they say, please allow 24 to 48 hours for you to get something. If you don't hear anything, oh, call us back. No problem. Give us a call back. Panarella Rider. Hey there, Mr. Henry, checking in from ATL again. What's up there on the East Coast? Mr. Ryder, what's going on? Craig K, what's going on there, Craig K? How you doing? Hope everything is good on your end of the world. And, I'm telling you, we have been busy. And there's more people coming into the Amazon A to Z course, which I'm really proud of. Thank you guys. For those of you that came in this week, thank you very much for joining the Amazon A to Z course. I hope you guys are getting a lot out of that. Hopefully that's helping you out. And there's some of you that call me, good example would be James. He gives me a call and checks on a few things and wants to know this and wants to know that, and which is all good. But everything is pretty much in the course, hopefully, and we try to keep that as updated as possible. And there are a few questions that have to be answered sometimes, and this is why I have my Monday nights Amazon Q&A, is because I want to answer your guys' questions while I'm live. I mean, that's who else does that, right? Who else goes out there and says, yeah, I want to ask you a question about blah, blah, blah. So, James says, for what it's worth, I have had problems with Amazon software in listing a product. I had to unlist and then relist it, and it finally worked. Yeah, I don't know how many people have had issues or problems with that. There's quite a few. Sometimes you just kind of have to say, okay, if the listing is not working, there is a problem and there's an issue that is overlooked. Make sure you don't have any of these little yellow icons on the very top. A lot of times, people are not getting active is because they're not authorized yet. They're getting into a gated category and don't realize that they are gated. What gated means is you need permission to sell in that particular category, such as beauty, for example. So if you have makeup and what have you, even though you try to put it in another category, it could automatically default into the beauty category. So when you try to put it in there, it becomes a problem or an issue. And so, and the system is catching it. And they're wondering, well, why did I put up a listing and then all of a sudden, 2 days later, it's not working? Well, because there could have been keywords that were put in. It could have been a certain ASIN that they used. They could have been piggybacking off of somebody else that you need their permission to sell that particular product. There's a lot of things that could go wrong. And this is where, you have to be really careful when you create your listings and how you're going to create them, keywords you're going to put in, the titles you're going to put in. If you're going to piggyback off somebody else, you got to make sure that you're able to do that. You have other sellers selling the exact same product, and there's a lot of things that really come into play. And this is why I stay very, very busy. is because people don't know what to do, so they come and they ask me the questions, and I try to help them out the best I can. So, but well, good. At least you went ahead, you relisted it, and it finally worked for you, James. So that's good. There's other categories too that you have to really pay attention to, especially for like pay-per-click campaigns and stuff. If you get into a category, say for example like books, you cannot use pay-per-click campaigns for that category. So they kind of have to sell on their own. And so you be really careful what category you're going to be selling in, what you want to sell in, and make sure that you can do some of the things that I teach on this program to go out there and be successful as a new seller. And there are people out there that will create 15, 20 listings in their first week and expect to be making tons of sales. Doesn't happen. So, with that being said, you just kind of have to be really careful about what products you are going to sell. Hopefully my video is okay, nice and clear, and my mic is working all right. I haven't heard any complaints yet. So just put them in the comments. Just give me a thumbs up or something. Let me know that, this broadcast is crystal clear and so forth. And yeah, but other than that, like I said, there's just Amazon is getting busier, and for new sellers out there, you definitely want to be jumping in. Right now is a great opportunity for you guys to be jumping into Amazon, selling on Amazon, and making quite a bit of money. I mean, I've been doing this for 13 years now, continuing to do it, and so with that, I'm just going to continue selling, continue teaching, and everything else like that. Thank you, Denise. Yes, it's awesome. Gives me a big thumbs up. There's a big thumbs up for you. Nice and clear, big thumbs up. Boom, back to me. Yes. So with that, guys, do you want to sell merchant fulfilled, or do you want to do Amazon's FBA program? And you have to think about that. Am I selling in a professional account or an individual account? These are all basic questions that you should be asking yourself when you create a brand new account with Amazon, a seller's account. Now, there are people out here that have called me this week and said, my account got shut down. I don't know why. And that should be the title to this video right here. My account got shut down and I don't know why. Well, there are things that people do that get themselves into a lot of trouble. And they could be as simple as using gift cards to pay for their stuff, or as simple as using a debit card when Amazon turns around and says, no, you must have a valid credit card on file in order to have a seller's account. There are people opening up more than one Amazon account. The system picks it up, turns around, and it says, hey, wait a minute, there's 2 accounts here or 3 accounts here, and they shut them down completely. Red flag their account, never able to sell on Amazon again because they made a stupid mistake like that. Now, there are other things that people do that they should not be doing. There's people out there that are contacting customers, contacting Amazon's customers and asking for feedbacks, asking for reviews so they can go ahead and have a better status on Amazon's platform, which is against Amazon's terms of service. So you want to make sure that you don't do things like that to where you get your account shut down. And this is why I've been selling for 13 years now, is because I kind of do everything by the book. And I want to make sure that whatever new comes up, You always read your messages. Always make sure that you are on top of it every single week. It could be something as simple as you putting yourself on vacation and not checking your messages while you're on vacation. There's a few of you that don't know that even though you go on vacation and put yourself on vacation mode in your seller's account and say it's merchant fulfilled, well, everything is going to stop when it comes to merchant fulfilled. But if you send your products into Amazon's FBA program, it is going to continue to sell even while you're on vacation. Even though you put yourself on vacation, you must check your account at least once a day. At least. And I'll tell you the reason why. Is because if you do not check your account and somebody leaves you a message, doesn't matter if it's pertaining to what you're selling or not, if you don't answer these messages, it goes over the 24-hour period and you get dinged on it. There are people that are sending products in extremely late to their customers. So they are getting the late shipping notifications, and those late shipping notifications go against you. And if you get a certain amount of late shipping notifications in a small period of time, you will get red flagged and your account may get suspended. So there are things out there that you really have to pay attention to. Even when you're on vacation and, it happens, and it happens all the time. One of the things that I can honestly say is that Amazon's seller's platform is not the greatest. It isn't. I have more luck and better luck with customer service on eBay than I do with Amazon. And it's sad for me to say because I've been on this platform for 13 years and they seem not to get this fixed. And it's like talking to deaf ears. So I turn around and I always tell my new people, make sure that you do, X, Y, and Z. And you make sure that, when you get a product and you put a product out there, that you check your notifications, you make sure that, if a product comes in and it's ready to be shipped, you get that stuff out as quickly as possible and try to do the best you can. And if you do that, then you should not have any problems. You should be okay. But there's some out there that are just kind of flying by the seat of their pants, so to speak, and say, yeah, I'll get it when I get it. And then those are the ones that kind of get in trouble because they're out there doing things that they doing these shortcuts or what have you. So, wow, nobody has questions. Come on, you guys, there's a lot of you out there right now. Somebody's got to have a question. OLA, thank you very much. You know what? We're going to go ahead and throw you right out there. OLA, thank you, OLA, for that super chat. I really appreciate it. OLA donates another $25 to this channel. Thank you very much, OLA. He donated last week, as a matter of fact. And by the way, I did get your email. I was going to call you back on that too, but I haven't. As you can see, there's a few other people like James there is waiting for my phone call, waiting for me to give him a call back. And I will get back to you this week. Promise you guys that. Promise you that, James. Promise you that there, OLA. So we will get that taken care of. OLA says, I'm flying by the seat of my pants only because I'm new. Yeah, no worries. And so, if and that's just it. If you bought the course, and you don't have just something that just not right, go over the product, go over everything that we have in the videos. Hopefully that helps you out. And if you don't, just give me a call, shoot me an email, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. I'm going to tell you, I normally have a lot of time for my members. I normally do. But we've been kind of going through a lot of things here. I'm selling a house. I'm buying a house, and I'm building it from the ground up. And so, it's, for me, it's a lot of work. And running the Amazon business and taking care of my members, I try to keep that all in line. But since everything is starting to move now, there's a lot of things that we have to do. You're going to find me in a different location for a couple of months while they're building the house. And so with that being said, I'm going to be living here, and I'm going to be living on the water somewhere. Who knows? But we will still continue to try to do these videos every Monday night, like I've been doing for the last few years. So, but thank you very much. I really appreciate that. All right. OLA says Mr. Popular. Well, I wouldn't say that, but I appreciate that anyway. Del the Hater. What's going on there, Del the Hater? I love your little icon there. Love it, love it, love it. Since you are a tech guy and UPS gives away free thermal rolls, have you ever considered using a Zebra thermal printer instead of your brother? Yes, I actually have my thermal printer. I don't like it. I don't like it because it didn't work good with my Mac. And so if you have a PC, it tends to work a little better with that. But I've always had issues with the Zebra printer with the Mac, and I just said screw this, and I ended up buying a Brother inkjet printer, and I love that. And I have another one. Actually, I have 3 of those printers now, because they do break down sometimes. You work them like a horse, and if you're printing out 100 to 150 to 200 labels a day, it goes through quite a bit. And I burn through paper, I burn through ink. Yeah, as a matter of fact, speaking of that, I just got another delivery today for ink for my Brother printer. And so, but yeah, I appreciate that. I'm not a tech guy by any means, but I do know about Amazon. I do know the pros, the cons, the ins, the outs, what to say, what not to say, what to do, what not to do. And that's just a matter of time. That's just a matter of, you're going to get familiar with that when you are selling on Amazon, and that's something that's going to be easier for you to do. And you're going to learn from your mistakes. And I kind of treat Amazon as well. I mean, Amazon, they do good in some instances, so I can't complain about that. My only complaint is if it came down to Amazon as a customer and Amazon as a seller, the customer is going to be way up here, because they're the ones bringing in the money, right? So they say. They're the ones buying your product, right? Okay. But without sellers, they wouldn't be as big as they are. And that's the truth. I mean, there's tons and tons of sellers that are selling lots of products on Amazon's platform. And, without the sellers, you wouldn't be selling as much product. Now, and Amazon makes money off of you. Every single time that you sell a product, they take those fees out. They make their money that way. But I never understood the thing of customer service. Customer service should be equal with the sellers and the buyers. While when a buyer has a problem, they have no problem giving them their money back whatsoever. If a seller has a problem, they're going to have to fight for their money. So it's two different things, and that's one thing that really irks me sometimes, is because you know you're right, but yet they go through the whole process of you trying to prove yourself, and you go out there and have to prove that you are right. So yeah, well, it is what it is. So, all right. Thank you guys for the thumbs up. Really appreciate that. OLA says, how do I use Jungle Scout better? I found a product, thought there was only one seller. I found out many. How do I fix that? I know how many people are... Oh, how do I fix that so I know how many people are selling that product? I mean, Jungle Scout is okay. They don't give you that information. You can go into, what was the other one? The other one that I was thinking about, ASIN Inspector Pro. ASIN Inspector tells you how many sellers are selling that particular product, but it also tells you how much product they have on hand. In other words, they'll tell you they have 50 units in Amazon's warehouse, which Jungle Scout doesn't give you that information. And I don't know if Helium 10 gives you that information also. But I do know that ASIN Inspector Pro does, because I have that, and this is the reason why I went ahead and bought it, was because I wanted to know how much my competition had on hand, so I can place a good order, and how many sellers were actually selling that product. James says, well, hopefully that answers your questions, OLA. Thank you again for the $25 to donating to this channel. James Hancock says, I wish, Dan, you could review Jungle Scout in depth. I wish I could too, but that's not my product. Jungle Scout is somebody else's product. I made videos on Jungle Scout, and I have videos on Jungle Scout on my program, James. But I'm going to tell you, like I tell everybody else, I cannot just make videos on Helium 10. I can't make videos on ASIN Inspector Pro. I can't make heliums on Jungle Scout, because that is not my product. That's a service. And that's a service that I'm affiliate with. I have my affiliate program that I use through that. I put the links right on the description below. And if they use my link, well, obviously I get a small chunk of change, but it's not worth it to me to sit there and teach people how to use their product. Again, I'm not the expert. They're the experts. They're the ones that you can go into Jungle Scout's website. They have plenty of videos there that you can watch. And if you have a question, they also have a customer service where you can ask them that specific question on their program. And they should be able to answer that for you. But yeah, I mean, I started doing videos and kind of teaching people my method and how I did it. But then, you get phone calls from these corporations, you get phone calls from these programs, and they don't want you to reinvent the wheel, so to speak. So sometimes you have to be really, really careful about how you go about doing that, because it's their product. They change rules all the time. They could have done this and you don't even know about it. And yet, if you didn't, then you would be going out there giving out bad information, and I don't want to do that. So I try to help you out the best I can with what I have and my knowledge and what I do know. But in that case, I'm not making videos in depth for that because of that particular reason. So hopefully that helps you out. OLA says, yes, thank you, Henry. No problem. I appreciate that. Jungle Scout extensions. Yeah, it's the same thing. James, Jungle Scout extensions. It's the same thing. You buy that extension. I don't know how much it is now. I think it's $199 a year where you can buy that extension. So when you are on Amazon's platform, you just simply click on that extension and it gives you all the data and the information, but it's limited. It's only does certain things, the extension. The one that does even more are the web applications and the web app. Those are the ones, but you're paying every single month for that. So they're going to charge you for having that, and you can have both of them if you want to. You can have all three. One of the questions that I get asked is, which one do I buy? Do I buy ASIN Inspector? Do I buy Jungle Scout? Do I buy Helium 10? Do I buy, all these other ones out there? And sometimes I have to just sit there and be honest with them and say, well, they're mostly all the same, pretty much, except for one program may do something different than the other program itself. For example, ASIN Inspector, where you're able to find out how much product is on hand and how many sellers are selling that particular product. Now, Jungle Scout, I'm sure, has that same information. It tells you how many sellers are selling that exact same product. You just got to get into it and really dig. And if you have a question, email them and ask them and see how their customer service is. See how well they respond to you. And they may respond fairly quickly. Who knows? I haven't had any complaints. So, but even myself, if I have a question, that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to go ahead and check that. So, Jungle Scouting Extension says, yeah, James says that shows you how many sellers. Well, there you go. So, OLA, hopefully James helped you out there as far as that, as a Chrome extension on that Excel. So, and that's the great thing about my group, guys, is we have our guys helping each other out, whether it's in the private Facebook group, whether it's in our Zoom meetings, and what have you. By the way, we have another Zoom meeting coming up fairly quickly, so be on the lookout for that, for the Zoom meeting, and go from there. OLA says, are we invited to the housewarming party when the build is complete? Well, you know what? That's going to be Christmas time. And I think I will invite a few of you guys out here to sit back and relax with me and have a cold one. That sounds really, really good. All right, CD Bailey, what's happening, CD Bailey? Welcome to my channel. Thanks for coming up. First time that I see you here. How big of a difference are shipping costs between FBA and seller fulfilled prime shipping? It is a huge difference. CD, you look at it this way. If you send your products into Amazon's FBA program, and I talk about this in my other videos, that you are going to be paying anywhere of 25 to 40% in fees. That's what you're going to be paying. Just depends on your product, depends how big it is, depends. There's a lot of things that go into play. Shipping is included. If you are doing shipping and say this product is oversized, the shipping goes way up. And when you send your products into Amazon's FBA, they do the customer service for you. They do the shipping for you. They do everything for you pretty much. They package it. They do all that. Now, when you do merchant fulfilled, you're buying all your own products, whether it's your scale, your printer, your paper, your envelopes, your boxes, what have you. You're buying all that. But the price on shipping is cheaper. It is cheaper if you go through Amazon's shipping process. Now, if you decide you're going to ship through Amazon's FBA program, well, obviously it's going to cost you quite a bit more. And so you kind of have to weigh your options, whether you want to ship the product out yourself and what have you. I go out and I will buy a lot of my products directly from Amazon, all my office products, or I will go out and I will buy my office products from companies like Clear Bags, get all my bags from. They're here in the West Coast, on the East Coast here in the United States. And I have other companies I use, bigger companies like Uline. Uline's on the East Coast, on the West Coast. They got really fast shipping. They have a pickup service where you can literally go over there to their warehouse, pick up the product. They do charge for that. I think it's I don't want to give a price, but they do charge to go pick up the product, or they charge to send it out UPS or FedEx. So there's many options. That's a great question, by the way. Really good question, CD. But yeah, it just depends. I mean, everything could add up when it comes to you buying your product yourself. You know, you're buying your own materials and what have you. But you think of it this way. This is all a tax write-off. And you should be able to have all your merchandise, have all your products, have all your materials, all itemized and ready to go into a spreadsheet, so you can simply say, this is what I've spent. You keep all your receipts, whether it's through Amazon or whether it's through Uline or any other place. Make sure you keep your receipts, put them in a folder, what have you, and turn that in every 3 months or 6 months or a year, whenever you do your taxes. I do mine every 3 months. I turn mine into my tax accountant, so it makes it easier for him at the end of the year. So when I do that, he has it. He has all that information, has what I've spent on my products, how much money I've made through sales, and what I've spent on all my merchandise. Don't care if it was ink or anything else like that. If you have a corporation, well, obviously you can write off a lot of stuff like your mileage, your car, your warehouse, or wherever else. So a lot of that comes into play. I'm sorry that was a long answer, but I try to give as much information as I can, get all that in there, so at least you have an understanding. Oh, okay. Yeah, you're welcome there, CD, and welcome to the channel. With that being said, guys, what I'm going to go ahead and do is I got to do this. I got to make sure that I put this out here for you guys. Dun, dun, dun. As soon as I can find it. All right. I'm looking. There it is. Don't forget to like this channel. And for all you new people out there like CD Bailey, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Make sure that you hit that notification bell. It will let you know when I do a live broadcast like I'm doing now. And make sure that you get that done, and tune in to every single time that I come in. And thank you guys for liking the videos. Really appreciate all the thumbs up. There you go with this super camera. Real quick autofocus. Voila, thumbs up. There you go. All right. All right. Daphne Hopkins, what's going on there, Daphne? Another new one. Okay, we're going to go ahead and answer your question. I am an individual seller, and I set up my account with a debit card. If I change it to a credit card, how will Amazon be able to pay me? All right, everybody listen up to this one. Everybody, because this is a fireball right here. This is where people get kicked off of Amazon. Not to her fault, not to their fault of their own, okay? Daphne, get rid of that debit card as quickly as possible and put in a valid credit card. People are getting kicked off of Amazon's platform and never able to sell again by using gift cards, debit cards, and it's right there, and they do tell you, put in a valid credit card. I'm not sure if you are brand new into the Amazon game, but this is where people are getting kicked off of Amazon, and they're calling me after the fact and saying, how do I get my account reestablished? And James, thank you very much for letting Daphne know not to use a debit card. And yes, do not use that whatsoever. If it's in the seller's account, okay? If you have a seller's account, set that up. One of the problems and one of the things that people don't expect is a few days later after they sign up with an Amazon seller's account that Amazon's going to contact them regardless, and they're going to want to know all their information. And that information has to be legit. Real name, real phone number, real address. If they're going to ask for a bill or two and it has your name on it, they're going to want to see that. If there's a problem with the product, they're going to want to see where you got that product from. They want to see invoices. And so you got to be really, really careful, because you are going to go through a verification process, and that verification process will either make you or break you. Okay, if you use a credit card. Now, you might want to elaborate on that, Daphne. Do you have a seller's account or a buyer's account? Obviously, you're probably talking about a seller's account if you're asking how you're going to get paid. That is going to be through your banking, okay? You have to set up a routing number and a checking number. And that's how you get paid. They deposit that every 2 weeks into your account. So if I made $20,000 in this 2-week period, which is easily can be done, then that money goes directly into the account that you have on file for your banking information, and that is a direct deposit that goes directly into your routing number and your account number that you gave when you signed up for that account. That's how you get paid. So if you get paid on a Wednesday from Amazon, they usually pay you around 5 o'clock in the evening. And that money does not get into your account till Saturday, most of the time. And you're able to verify that by just simply going into your account and seeing that it's there on Saturday. So there you go. All right. Antoinette Slade, what's happening? What's going on? Another one that's brand new to my YouTube channel. Hello, what camera are you using? I am using the Sony A6400. Has one of the best zooms ever. Best zoom ever. Love it. I love this. I love it. It's great for live broadcast. Great for that. I did buy this. New lens for it. This is the 16 millimeter Sigma 1.4 DC. This is the complimentary edition, 67 millimeter. Very, very nice, very nice, extremely fast when it comes to zooming in. It is fast. And this is what I love about it. I'm also using my Rode mic here, the Rode Wireless Go, just so you guys know. There it is, the Rode Wireless Go. And yeah, so that's my camera equipment. I do have some lighting set up on this, and I'm glad you like it if you do like it. So, Del the Hater, what's going on, Del the Hater? Del the Hater says, have you ever shipped products in boxes or regular polymers or just padded envelopes only? No, I use everything. I use boxes, I use padded envelopes, I use everything, shipping mailers, doesn't matter. If you're gonna do boxes, there are United States Postal Service has priority mail boxes that you can get for absolutely free. All you need to do is go into the United States Postal Service website, go into their boxes, order them, and they'll send them to you to your place absolutely free. Think a stack of 25, what have you. Think UPS does the exact same thing for shipping labels. Every month you're able to order 2-piece shipping labels from UPS, and if I'm not mistaken, I think they also ship the labels for the Zebra printers also. I know that they were doing it. I don't know if they're still doing it, but I know for a fact that UPS, or United States Postal Service, they are shipping priority boxes for absolutely free. You just pick out the size on their website, and then there you go. So, but yes, I use them all as much as I possibly can. All right, guys, it is going on 1 hour. Thank you guys for the questions. If I don't have any more questions in the next minute or so, we are going to be calling this a day until next Monday. I appreciate all you guys' comments and everything else, and all your thumbs up, and you guys tuning in. You didn't have to tune in to my live broadcast, but you guys do. Appreciate that. And once again, if you are new to this channel, I am here every Monday night at 6 o'clock, 6 p.m. Pacific. And for those that are not subscribed to my YouTube channel, go ahead and click that subscribe button and join and come on in. Mr. Media Today, welcome, Mr. Media Today. I guess I'll answer a few more questions. Says, hi, do you accept a side student? I mean, I fly in your town. Well, I do charge for that. I charge for my services. I actually had a couple of students that I did pick up and work with them every single day, side by side. They did pay me quite a bit of money for that. But now one of them, Steve, if you guys know, I always have him on. He is doing great now in the double. He's making quite a bit of money. I'm not going to say how much he's making, but he is making quite a bit than when he first started. You know, he was one of the ones that I did work side by side with, and is very successful. I do have my Amazon A to Z course at techdaddyvideos.com. Take a look at it there. And if you want to sign up for the course, you can. You have access to me. You can call me at 626-225-3002. That goes directly to my phone. And if I'm up or I'm available, I will pick up the phone and answer. If not, just leave me a voicemail and I will call you back as soon as I can. All right. Daphne says, is your course just a private label course? No, it's not. It's private label, wholesale, retail, What else is it? There's quite a few. I mean, there's a lot of. I get into a lot of stuff. I have well over 100 videos that I have. Drop shipping. I don't really talk about drop shipping because that's a program I don't care for, because there's too many issues, too many things that can go wrong on the Amazon platform. I do talk about it, saying that this is one of the things that you can do, but it's not my favorite. So, but yes, to answer your question, Daphne, I have quite a bit, and it's not just private label on that. I started out wholesaling, and I turned around and I would buy pallets, single pallets at a time, and pay $200, $300, $400 per pallet. And then I got to a point where I was making so much money, I was buying 12 pallets at a time, having them shipped directly to my warehouse, and then selling out of there at one point. So that's no longer, just because I do a lot of my own private label products, and I make quite a bit more money doing that. So hopefully that answers your question. Mr. Media Today says, can you please tell me how much, please? Look, go on to my website, techdaddyvideos.com. Go under products, and it's all right there. I don't like to discuss prices over a live broadcast. Go to my website, techdaddyvideos.com. If you do that, you're going to see all the prices there. If you have questions, you can call me. That's in the title. My phone number is directly in the title. All right, guys. With that being said, we are done for tonight. Thank you guys for coming on. Thank you guys for listening. And we will catch you guys on the flip side. See you guys. You guys have a good one. See you on the next one. Peace.